two Chesterfield families just before Christmas.
The government said today that mining won't restart at the 10 pits threatened with early closure, despite yesterday's High Court ruling. Miners' lawyers warned the president of the Board of Trade, Michael Heseltine, that he was close to contempt of court. Some miners say that while the uncertainty continues, their pits are getting more and more run down.
The lonely end of a lonely shift at Silver Hill Colliery. Most of the dwindling workforce of 620 at home with nothing to do. These disconsolate few looking after the pit that's dying around them.
Just care and maintenance, Harrico mine, we're using about 160, 170 people a day on inspections and just routine maintenance.
The men had arrived for work today, hoping to resume cutting coal. Laid on in the canteen, 3 bottles of scotch, a Christmas gift from the coal board following outstanding production. They hold a world record for mining a 4-foot seam, but bosses told them they were under orders to keep the pit shut. 10,000 tons of coal a week are still being sold from stockpiles, but underground, the pit is deteriorating. One face, codenamed Y9, may no longer be worth repair.
There's no doubt that they have let Y9's face at Silver Hill deteriorate into the condition it's in. We did have problems just before the announcement, but we could have got that face going within a week. It's now going to take at least 4 months to get that face going.
Silver Hill Colliery could start production again tomorrow, but not extracting coal at the same rate as before the shutdown. Picking up production where it was forced to stop will be a major challenge.
The trade gap, the difference in value between exports and imports, widened again last month to nearly £1,200 million. Exports were up to their highest ever, but the import bill climbed even more because of the pound devaluation in September.
Britain's trading account will slip deeper into the red before the benefits of a devalued pound begin to show through. It will take several months for the lower cost of British exports to tempt more foreign buyers. But higher import prices have to be paid now. Even in recession, the bulk of domestic demand is still being met by imported goods.
Imports should not be going up at the time of recession until I think what the government now must do is look at their imports right, look where we can reach that supply in our own domestic country.
For its people. Bush wants to see the bulk of American forces begin to leave within a month, but the United Nations Secretary General has warned too hasty withdrawal could lead to anarchy in Somalia. Just one of many problems facing President-elect Clinton's new cabinet. The remaining major posts were filled today. Warren Christopher will be Secretary of State. He served in the same department under President Carter. And Les Aspin was named as the next Secretary of Defense, a congressman from Wisconsin and former chairman of the House Armed Services Committee. But are there too many old faces in the new team?
But to say that this is a team of sort of retreads, I think, which is the inference there, would be totally unfair.
Republicans see them as signaling no fundamental change.
I don't think there are major fundamental disagreements on the role of America or on the need for America to be strong.
and to work very closely with a large number of allies.
And if the queue outside a shop stocking Clinton Gore souvenirs today is anything to go by, the new team is proving a sellout with the public. David Chater, ITN, Washington.
The financial cost of the oil tanker disaster off northern Spain this month is now put at nearly £300 million. The cost to wildlife in the area around the port of La Coruña is even more devastating. The International Maritime Organization says the accident has raised serious questions about the use of aging tankers to transport oil. Joan Thurkettle at ITN reports.
18 million gallons of crude oil have leaked into the sea off northern Spain, more than the Exxon Valdez dumped into Alaskan waters in 1989. Here, 100 miles of coastline have been contaminated, the natural habitat for all kinds of wildlife destroyed, the fishing grounds and the livelihoods of local people devastated.
I don't know what's going to happen, or what we can do about it, or when we'll get paid any compensation.
The Greek registered tanker, the Aegean Sea, was sailing from Scotland to La Coruña when she hit the rocks and exploded whilst attempting to dock in rough seas and high winds. As thick black smoke billowed into the sky, oil poured into the sea, seeping into the bays and estuaries along the coast. So far, the clean-up has been slow and ineffective. Here in the fishing village of Novagos, there's one man, one rope, and one pump. Waves repeatedly wash over the booms intended to protect the fishing grounds. The total cost of the disaster is £300 million. The environmental recovery will take years. The Spanish are now raising questions about aging tankers. This vessel had been involved in 2 other accidents.
The fact that the ship which has had the problem in La Coruña is an almost 20-year-old ship, it really reinforced our commitment for safety and the control of pollution and our concerns on the age of it.
It's a concern the European Commission intends to take up. The fish market in La Coruña has reopened, but only to fish caught outside the polluted area. With the oil now settled on the seafood beds, the food chain is more at risk than ever.
The Princess of Wales will almost certainly spend Christmas apart from her children, Prince William and Prince Harry. She's turned down the Queen's invitation to join the rest of the royal family at Sandringham, but she will be spending time with her 2 sons during the holiday period at her family home, Alfred, in Northamptonshire. Tonight, top stories on Major has paid a flying pre-Christmas visit to the Prince in Bosnia. Finally, everyone heard of the flying boat. She's gone.
Ready for the off, Chips the collie in the cockpit of his master's aircraft, and ready for the daily round of the seas. For Chips, the microlight holds no fears. After all, up there, he has a bird's-eye view of the 900 feet in the fields below. Any problems? Perhaps the clock in the wrong field or a lamb's gone lame.
Sheep farmer Peter Bell lands the plane, and Chips hits the ground running.
Come on up! Come on up! Wait! Steady now, steady!
We use the airplane, obviously, to get round in as short a time as possible and see things as quickly as possible.
And whatever the wind or the weather, they'll be out each day this week.
It's Christmas Day. It's the same as any other day. Everything has to be fed and everything has to be looked after.
Feeding and festive flying, this Christmas Chips and Peter will be the shepherds watching their flocks by flight. Hugh Pym, ITN, Northumberland.
That's it. Good night.